I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Now I get to ban a bunch more people because they all said exactly the same thing at the same time. I love it. You guys are so dumb. You all are sitting in the detractor restream and you all say the same message simultaneously in two chats with different accounts. You're brain dead fucking stupid. That's the second time you did it during the podcast. So I get to ban more fucking sock accounts. You guys are so dumb. I mean, it's remarkable how few brain cells you have in your fucking heads when you act like that. Like, dude, when you parrot a message, when you just word for word repeat it, do you think I'm not going to notice? God. Yes, the YouTube algorithm is broken and horrible. Should I, every creator on YouTube is mentioning something. I find it funny because I don't need to mention this kind of stuff anymore because already I've been suppressed so much on YouTube because of the way the algorithm works, the way that my detractors steal my content. But there's this new thing that's been automatically happening. So basically, YouTube has had this thing called restricted mode for a long time. And what restricted mode does, I guess it hides certain kinds of content based on criteria. No one seems to know what the criteria is. People seem to think it's AI generated criteria, but no one knows. So basically, if you have a YouTube account, okay, there's a icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. When you click on it, it shows the name of your YouTube account, and it says things like view your channel, Google account, Switch account, sign out, etc. In that drop-down, there's something that says restricted mode, okay? If you click on that and you turn it on, what ends up happening is YouTube severely limits the amount of content that you will see. And so some people have tested this and found out that like it hides 95% of content that creators put out for some reason, but no one knows what the criteria is. So what's happened is in the last couple of weeks, I say 2-3 weeks, everyone on YouTube is claiming that their views are down. Okay. That's what they're saying. They're all saying our views are all way down and we don't know why. Okay. If I look at my channel, DSP Gaming, okay, my views are slightly down. Like if I actually look at overall views, it looks like only a little bit, not even that much. Like maybe 20,000 less views than usual, right? Which is like nothing. It's not a big deal. But a lot of people are saying that their views overall in the last month have gone way down, and they're complaining about this and saying, oh, because of this now, our revenue is shot and everything. And I just listened to this and I'm like, man, am I glad I don't worry about that shit anymore. Because there was a time when I used to have to worry about that because all my stuff was based on video views, performance, ad revenue. That doesn't really affect me anymore. Like having low views for a few weeks or whatever, it's not a big change for me. Most of my revenue is made here on live streams. Okay. But anyway, what creators have been saying is that apparently since views are down across the site, maybe what's happening is people are accidentally having restricted mode turned on their YouTube accounts without them doing it. And then they're not seeing the content. And so therefore, that's why views aren't coming in. I don't really know if I believe that. I think YouTube changed the algorithm again. To be honest, I think YouTube, they do this all the time. Some fucking nerd thinks that they're smart and says, I'm going to literally change the way all videos get seen on YouTube today. I'm just going to go change the algorithm. So people who have built their entire livelihoods and businesses off of making content a certain way will now be erased and hurt hugely. But I don't care because I'm a fucking nerd who works at YouTube and I just run this algorithm and I just change things whenever I want. This happened many times over the course of me being a creator. The worst possible time was actually, I want to say it was around 2015. It was 2015, 2016, right? So previously, I had videos on YouTube that used to get insane views no matter what. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions Part 1 was historically a video that every month got recommended to anyone who was looking for Spider-Man content on YouTube. And that video every month alone, that video would get anywhere between 10,000 all the way up to 50,000 views just itself. One video would always get tons of views, which is why that video, if you look it up, has millions of views, okay? There was another video too, I believe it was when PlayStation 4 first came out, like the launch of PS4, John and I played some racing game. I think it might have been like a Need for Speed. And for some reason, that video always showed up in the algorithm. When you search for Need for Speed, that video would show up and it would always get views. So that video, like 5,000 to 10,000 views a month, even though it was an old video, it would bring in those views. All of a sudden, in like 2014, 2015, 2016, one of those years, YouTube said, change the algorithm entirely. What ended up happening was all of my legacy content actually stopped showing up in YouTube related videos and related searches. So now if you actually look up, I'm going to go to YouTube right now, okay? And I'm going to type in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Okay? I get Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions 14 years later. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions gameplay walkthrough, no commentary. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions walkthrough from Pack Attack. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Shattered Dimensions gameplay. None of mine. None of mine at all. It doesn't show up. My video is not there whatsoever. It's everyone else's gameplay. None of mine. Okay? So then I'm going to type in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions DSP Gaming. Here it is. Part 1 of my playthrough from 15 years ago has 3.2 million views. That video has more views than every single Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions video on the YouTube except one. The only one that beats it, someone took all the cutscenes and turned it into a movie. That one has 4 million views. So mine has 3.2 million. It's the second most viewed video on YouTube of that game. And it doesn't show up in YouTube search when you search for Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. It just never shows up. Everyone else's video that has 200,000, 300,000 views, they show up. Not mine. Okay? So, what happens over time is YouTube changes the algorithms. Okay? And when they do that, videos get kicked out of search. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm looking at Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Part 41 has 27,000 views. Part 41 of a playthrough had 27,000 views. But if you go look at it, no one has watched it in the last 7 to 8 years. It's unwatchable. No one can find it. So all those views came in like a decade ago. And then cold stop because YouTube recoded and kicked all my old videos out of the algorithm. So no one finds them for anything. Even though frequently people go back and watch retro playthroughs of old games, they can't find mine anymore. So even though I have a giant catalog of videos, remember, I've made over 70, 80,000 videos. No one can find the old stuff and I don't get paid for any of it. So this happens every once in a while where newer creators who maybe have been making a living on YouTube for 5 years, they'll come out and they'll be like, something happened, right? Something happened. And basically now, because of that, now we're not getting views. It's not that something happened. It's that YouTube just recoded the algorithm again. And now your videos just aren't prominent. A whole new slew of people will now start to be featured in the content. I feel like they do this every few years. They recode, and then you're the current guard. You're out. You're not. You're yesterday's news. Now a new group of people who make new kind of videos, they will be the ones featured. And you're just pushed to the side, no matter how hard you worked, no matter how hard you tried, no matter how you gamed the system when that was the system. Well, YouTube changed the system. So now, there you go. Okay? So, I don't know what else to say. That's just how it seems to work. Okay? It's sad, but it's true. Me, I've seen the ups and downs of YouTube. I've had times when my videos were prominent. I have times when no one watches my videos. I have times where I'm in between and it kind of goes like this. And, you know, right now I coast at like 500,000 views a month, basically on DSP gaming, which is fine. But it sucks that there's no consistency, right? And it sucks that at any moment they change stuff and then I just don't get stuff seen anymore, right? Russian name says, I have a theory. Modern YouTube pushes videos from YouTubers managed by a talent agency and videos related to modern products. In case of gaming only, new games content into the algorithm. No, you're very, very well. You could be right. They have criteria they're following, and it will push certain content into the prominence and other content just sweep it under the rug, and you can't find it anymore. What I feel bad for is people who aren't like me, who haven't been around for 17 years, who aren't resistant to it. Like me, I'm pretty much immune to this. Even if I get no views on my new videos, it doesn't matter. I make my living on streams. It's not a big deal. But what if you're a YouTuber who got into this in the last 5 years, you just started making videos, the videos are taking off, getting views, you're making good money, maybe you're even starting to get early sponsorships and things. Now, all of a sudden, YouTube recodes, no one can see your videos anymore. You went from getting hundreds of thousands of views down to 10, 20,000 views. How do you make a living? You don't. And that's the sad fact with YouTube, is that it's not really dependable with making videos. When people say to me, why don't you do on-demand videos again? Why don't you do the content you used to do for like KO Gaming, where you do the highly edited reviews and think, I mean, you had a review that had over 1 million views. Did that make you money? Yeah, that review made me around $3,000, $4,000. No lie. I made about like $4,000 on one video. The problem is you can't depend on it. YouTube does not consistently work that way. You may get lucky with one video, but it's never always going to push your videos to the forefront. You may hit the algorithm today and never hit it again. You may actually be in favor and have a good business, and then in 2 years it tanks because YouTube just doesn't show your content anymore. Again, luckily for me, I don't have to worry about it. I'm protected because I've been around so long. I'm a staple. Everyone knows about me. Everyone follows me. Everyone wants to check out my streams or whatever. And I have dedicated fans that come by and hang out with me no matter what. And I really appreciate that. But for a normal creator, it sucks. And now that, well, the scapegoat is it's turning on restricted mode. That's not what it is. YouTube just changed the algorithm a millionth time and fucked over another generation of creators. And they're now feeling the same thing that someone like me has felt 20 times in the 17 years that I've been doing this. Again, I had a formula where I was pumping out all these gameplay videos a day and I was making a good amount of money. And then they flipped the switch and none of my content was ever shown ever again. It all is gone. It's like as if it never existed. You can find it if you specifically search for it, but outside of that, you can't find it anymore. Why do you think the video of the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions FMV movie has 4 million views, but my video of the gameplay has been stuck at 3 million for so long? Because you can't find my video. Theirs shows up right away, so they get all the views. It sucks because I built such a huge body of work, and I was hoping by the time I was in my 40s, maybe it would be self-sufficient. Maybe I could take days off and still make good money because my body of work was going to get residual views and ad revenue. The truth is that should have happened, except YouTube changed everything when they fucked with the algorithm. And now my old content doesn't get watched at all, you know? It's crap. It's complete garbage. And it's not fair, but it's their business and they can do whatever they want with it, you know? I'll tell you this right now. If YouTube recoded and said, just go back to the old algorithm that you had over 10 years ago, the entire site would change overnight. Literally, people who are all on the front page would be gone completely. And all people who actually like work hard would actually be back. I'm serious, because it used to actually reward hard work. That was the algorithm, the way it worked. If you put out more videos, if you got more consistent viewership and all that, you actually were rewarded for it. And then you were put into related videos and everything. Now, it's none of that at all. It only features content that games the system with certain criteria, which I don't do. You know, I don't game the fucking system. I never have. I don't do that shit. I stand on my own merits. Exactly. Grandmaster Scrub said it's crazy. I'm sub to you, but I always consistently get detractor content suggested to me. And even when he says don't suggest it, it still comes back because that's the YouTube algorithm. It follows criteria and the detractors know what the criteria is. So they just follow it to get artificially recommended when their content is garbage. But that's all anyone can find. YouTube only recommends stuff that's in that algorithm, and that's what they do. Harundum did a 100 knock super chat, which is the equivalent of $10. He says, oops, robust knock bounced off the wrong shore. This one's for the real treasury. I don't know what that means, but thank you for a $10 super chat. So now we're at what, 48? Come on, guys, let's get to 50 right now, and let's end the show, and let's jump into Suikoden. Let's hit 50 right now. Let's go. I mean, that's what I asked for. I said, let's get 50 before the show ends, and we're about to end it. Okay. For the record, tomorrow there will not be a podcast. Tomorrow I want to get really far into Chronos. So there's no show tomorrow. We'll do a little build-up session for like 30 minutes, and then it's going to be like